Would you all please stand for our pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you join us in prayer? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time we have together tonight, and we just pray for your guidance in what we do and the decisions that we make. And we just pray that you would continue to watch over this community, keep us healthy, keep us safe. In Jesus' name, amen.
The meeting is called to order at 7:31. We have some students of the month to be recognized.
Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and start with the elementary school. Have them come on up and, yeah, children should do that for us.
I'm subbing in tonight. Good evening. First of all, Mrs. Gibney would like to extend her apologies for not being here tonight. She's been in Indianapolis at a concert, at a conference all day. But recognizing Students of the Month is something she truly enjoys, and I know she's extremely proud of these students and wishes she could be here. Both of our students are fourth graders. Unfortunately, our first student is unable to attend this evening, but we certainly want to recognize her, and hopefully you can meet her at next month's meeting. Her name is Avery Michael, and Mrs. Busker had the following to say. I have a girl who has shown growth mindset. Avery has used growth mindset on her multiplication time test. We talk about making progress, not perfection. If they finish 4 rows the first time, they make a goal to get 6 rows the next time. If they keep making progress, they will end up passing the level. Avery understands that if she practices her multiplication facts each night, she can easily make progress toward passing the level. She passed her 5s one day and started on the 6th the next day. Avery got a few rows completed on her first attempt. She told me she had made a goal for the next day and would study that night. The next day, Avery surpassed her goal. She passed the test on her 3rd attempt. Avery is doing a great job with the power of yet. She knows if she sets goals and keeps trying, she will meet her goals. Congratulations, Avery. Our next student is Tyler Stevens. Tyler, would you come on up here? Before I read what his teacher has to say, I just want to say that Tyler, you have been one of those students who's brightened my day for many years. Anytime you passed through the office, you always greeted us with a smile and said, have a good day. That may be something small to you, but it meant the world to us, so thank you for that. And now, on to what Mrs. Needler has to say. I have a boy who has really shown growth mindset. Tyler Crash Stevens, okay. Tyler Crash Stevens came in this year ready to live up to his nickname. He ran into a few obstacles with focus and hard topics, but he pushed through to persevere. He also proved to be quite the role model in our class and puts forth his best foot each day. I'm really proud of how he has taken situations where he would have typically been goofy or given in and made them an opportunity to prove just how great he can be. I am so proud of him. Congratulations, Tyler.
Come on up, Mr. Alt.
Alrighty, first up we have Wyatt Craig. I'm going to bring you up here and embarrass you a little bit. Alright. Wyatt is new to Eastern, but has really made a good impression on his 8th grade teacher. We noticed that Wyatt tries very hard. He gets his work in on time, and when he doesn't, he works with the teacher to stay caught up. Wyatt is also a very helpful young man. Many times he has offered to help someone in class when they knew they needed help. That's important. We are glad he is at Eastern, and we know he's going to have a great year. Congratulations, Blake. All right. Ember Gator could not make it tonight. She's one of our 8th graders. It was really cute. She got permission to come into the office and to speak with me. I was like, okay, what's she coming in to say? She said, I have a volleyball game that night. I'm not going to make it. I just thought that was really grown up of her to come in and let me know that. But she's very proud. Teacher said, although quiet, Ember has a big personality, and we can tell that. She is very sweet and works very hard on all of her classes in 8th grade. Right now, she has all A's, and I predict she will at the end of the year. Ember asks questions when she needs help, and this is very critical in 8th grade and especially in high school. Ember is always happy and smiling. This brightens anyone's day around her. We look forward to a great year with Ember, so congratulations to Ember as well. Thank you.
Mr. Bruce is filling in for Mr. Kirkendall. He's at the same conference, or is it a concert? Same conference as Mrs. Gibney.
A little jealous of its concert.
Yeah.
So, all right. Our first student is Liliana Glaze. Come on up here, Liliana. Liliana is a freshman this year and has already made an impact. She is a great student receiving high marks from all of her teachers. She is polite and courteous. Sure. And she works really hard in the classroom and shows being ranked in the top 20 of her class. She is incredibly active in both academics and athletics. Liliana has also made her mark on the cross-country circuit, being ranked #1 girl in the county. She has already won several contests and has broken the school record. We're incredibly proud of Liliana. Our second student of the month is Maddox Alt. Maddox was selected for the September Student of the Month. Maddox is an exceptional student being ranked at the top of his class. He is well liked amongst his peers and respected to all he is in contact with. Maddox also runs cross country for Eastern Green. He has been a top 5 runner for the entire season and more recently placing 3rd in the last meet. Maddox has also made the all-county team. We're incredibly proud of Maddox.
Congratulations to all the students of the month. All right, at this time, participation at school board meetings. The board recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express concerns regarding agenda items. Comments will be limited to board meeting agenda items with a time limit of 3 to 5 minutes. I want to reiterate that to make a public comment, it needs to be about an agenda item. Nothing having to do with COVID protocols is on the agenda tonight. There will be an announcement at the end of the board meeting about adjustments to our COVID protocols. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Is there anyone who'd like to speak on the agenda item? Sir.
Yeah, I'd like to petition the proposed tax levy.
Okay, what agenda item is that? The budget hearing?
Budget hearing.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Jared Barr.
Say again.
Jared Barr.
Okay.
Okay, the citizens of Eastern Green School District petition the 2022 tax levy proposed by the Eastern Green Consolidated School Corporation, ECSC Board. We believe the proposed amounts are too high and should be more in line with 2022's levy. ECSC carried over approximately $2.2 million into the current fiscal year from 2020. Further, the ECSC is short-staffed due to numerous vacancies. Student enrollment has been down since COVID has come about. And then several additional students have withdrawn here in recent weeks due to the recent mask mandate. For the reasons stated above, the community believes that the board is overstating their required operating budget, and an increased tax levy is not warranted for the fiscal year 2022. We also do not have good faith in the abilities of the ECSC board to execute a surplus of funding in the best interests of the community, since they failed to pass votes that are representative of the majority of the citizens within the community. We believe that ECSC should levy approximately $3 million. I have the exact dollar figures in my petition, which I'll provide. Total for fiscal year 2022, which is the same amount received in 2021. And we do have signatures going around right now, I believe. So we have the signatures that this should go in with your budget proposal to the city.
Should this not have been presented during the budget public hearing?
What's that?
Should this not have been presented during the public hearing for the budget?
Yeah, it should have been, but we'll be all right.
Okay.
Any other public comments on agenda items? Okay. Adoption of the agenda. It's recommended that the agenda for the September 13th, 2021 meeting be approved as presented with additions, corrections, or deletions as recommended by the board. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Dr. Armsay. Second by Ron Childress. All those in favor? Passed 7-0. Approval of minutes. It's recommended that the minutes from the August 9th, 2021 and September 7th, 2021 meetings be approved as presented. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes? Heather Hudson. Second by Sharon Apps. All those in favor? Passed 7-0. Approval of claims. It is recommended that claims numbers 13884 through
14000.
be approved as presented. Do I have a motion to approve those claims? Ron Childress. Do I have a second? Martha Marmazay. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Okay, next up we have, every year we have to conduct a public hearing on the 2022, on the 2022 budget. You do it every year on the budget, on what was advertised. We have to advertise on Gateway, and we also have to advertise on our school website. We've done both of those things. And you have to advertise no less than 10 days prior to the hearing, and we made that by quite a few days, so we're good there. I do want to talk about some notes on the budget. We are advertising a tax rate of 1.3429 for the operations fund and 0.6982 for the debt service fund. This comes out to a total tax rate of 2.016, which is the same as 2021. We're advertising the following appropriations. In the education fund, $7,079,503. Debt service, $1,159,713. Operations, $3,536,276. And rainy day, $750,000. Those are just appropriations. Now, appropriation just means permission to spend. Doesn't mean you're going to spend all that money. Doesn't mean you're going to even get all that money. That's just what you advertise. Once you get your 1782 later on in October, then they will tell you exactly what you're getting. Oftentimes you get cut. You don't get exactly what you advertise. We won't spend everything that we have appropriations for, because if you do that, you spend all of your cash balance, which is kind of your savings, and then you're possibly going into deficit spending. So we won't spend all of our appropriations. As far as CPF and bus replacement, those are on the website also. Talk quickly about those. Just a second. Oh, behind here. Bus replacement, it's a plan we take out 5 years just to show what buses we have, what we're replacing down the road. For 2022, and obviously you start replacing your older buses to get newer. We typically don't buy brand new. We try to go and find really good used buses that are in good shape. But for 2022, you'll see that we budget that we could spend $200,000. We hardly ever spend that much, or really often come close to that amount. But you just have to put in a number that you feel is going to be reasonable for the type of bus you're going to get. So we often go under that budgeted amount. The CPF plan is basically kind of a wish list. You see what you can get done. You rarely ever do it all. It's a 3-year plan, so you can actually go back to prior CPF plans and do projects 3 years prior on another plan. So you just kind of keep building for the future to see what you can get done. Some of the things we're looking at that you're going to see on the CPF plan, possibly new lockers for this building here for the middle school, security upgrades at this building for both the middle school and the elementary school, such as cameras, servers that run those cameras, door access, new carpeting in the central office, possibly new PA system for Eastern Green Middle School, roof repairs of this campus here. So once again, we won't accomplish all those, but you just build so that you can possibly kind of piece some things together in the future going back on previous plans. And then there's estimated projected costs. You just kind of have to go out and get quotes from people who do this type of thing for a living, and you put in a number that you think is going to get the job done. All the information I just discussed can be found in 2 different places. You can find that at www.budgetnotices.in.gov. If you go there, you search by county, so you obviously look for Green, and then you click on Eastern Consolidated School Corporation. But the easiest place to find it is go to our website, go to budget documentation, and you can click on the you can click on the CPF plan and pull it up and look at it. You can click on the bus replacement plan, look at it. You can also, there's a link to that website I just mentioned up there that takes you to all of our advertised rates and our appropriations. So that's kind of what we have going on budget-wise. We are in really pretty decent fiscal shape. People, the boards before any of us, superintendents before us, kept us in good shape, and we continue to be that way. So that's kind of my report on the budget at this time for the hearing.
Any questions from the board? Any other public comments into the public hearing on the budget? Okay. Motion by Ron Childress. I have a second. Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next up is something that I should have had on the agenda in August and misplaced it to get it on there, but we're getting on there now. So I'll read what we have here and I'll do a little bit of explaining. We have a recommendation to waive the established school board policy that prohibits high school freshmen from enrolling in high school geometry. We have 7 freshmen we'd like to enroll for the 21-22 school year. So basically what happens is to be able to take geometry as a high school freshman, you have to pass 8th grade algebra with a grade of at least B- and passed the iLearn assessment. The high school math department got together to look at iLearn scores, which we received late, which is kind of par for the course for the state, unfortunately. And they saw 7 students who were very close to passing iLearn. We're talking like maybe a couple questions away from passing. They felt those students should have the opportunity to stay in geometry. They were already scheduled for geometry and already started geometry for the school year. They felt that they should be able to stay in geometry. They're going to keep a close eye on these students. They need, some extra attention, some help. They're going to help them with that. If there needs to be any adjustments, if they're struggling, they'll make adjustments to that. But this is completely the math department's idea. They brought it to me. I support it. I think it's very forward-thinking of the math department to want to do this for these students who the math department felt in a normal year, non-COVID year, these students maybe would have passed. There wouldn't even been this question. So appreciate the math department kind of looking at things and thinking outside the box. So that would be my recommendation.
We have a motion. Dr. Marmazet, second by Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have a recommendation to approve Charlene, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Klumper, okay. I didn't want to butcher it. Charlene Klumper to serve on the Greene County Library Board for 2022. We appreciate her offer to serve.
I have a motion. Martha Marmazet, second by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next up is a recommendation to approve cafeteria meal charge procedures as presented. Really, all it is, we do this every year, anytime we make any changes to charging procedures. Basically, we change that students don't have to charge this year because meals are free, and we put a limit onto the amount that adults can charge, which was $5. So that's really the only major changes.
Do I have a motion to the approved changes? Heather Hudson. Second by Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next up, we have a recommendation to recognize ICP, which is Integrated Chemistry and Physics, as a countable science course for academic technical honors and academic honors diplomas to align it to state guidelines. The reason we're doing this is because it needs to be adopted into policy. Right now, it's not aligned that way, but the board has to take action to actually align it since it's a curriculum decision. Most schools have it aligned this way. For some reason, it's not in our language, so we want to do that for our students.
Do I have a motion? Mike Adams. Second by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next up, this kind of goes along with our budget. When buses kind of reach their limit of being able to be on the road, their age, mileage, things like that, you have to decide what to do with them. Oftentimes, we have traded them in the past, but there's sometimes when you have buses that you're just not going to get out of them to trade them in. So we're going to recommend to surplus the following buses for storage. We're going to put them in an inconspicuous place that's not going to be eyesores, and we're going to use them for some storage. So those are bus 18, bus 6, bus 9, the VIN numbers and the descriptions are there. So I bring that recommendation to you.
Have a motion. Ron Childers. Second by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next up, we have some donations. Have a recommendation to approve the donation of $812 from EG football boosters to be given to the high school athletics football program for the purchase of the football player practice packs.
Do I have a motion? Childress, second by Heather Hudson. Thank you for the donation from the EG football boosters. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next up, recommendation to approve the donation of $140 to middle school athletics from Jake James to be used toward the purchase of the middle school mascot costume.
I have a motion from Childress, second by Sharon Apps. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next, we have a recommendation to approve an anonymous donation of, it's a slight change here, it's $340 instead of $200, so it's $340 to middle school athletics.
We have a motion. Martha Armzay. We have a second. Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next, we have a recommendation to approve the resignation of Darlene Pirtle as instructional assistant.
A motion to accept that resignation, Heather Hudson. Second by Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
I thank Darlene for her time here. Next, we have a recommendation to approve the hiring of Jamie Robbins as the Kid Zone facilitator.
We have a motion. Scott Carmichael, second by Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Thank you for stepping up and doing that. That helps out tremendously. Next, we have a recommendation to approve Allison Clary and Whitney Russell to split the stipend and also take on the responsibility of student council ECA at the middle school.
A motion, Mike Adams, second by Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Recommendation to approve the appointment of Allison Van Kooten as the high school freshman sponsor.
A motion, Mike Adams, second by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next up, we have a recommendation to transfer the ECA middle school fund balance to the ECA high school fund. What that is with COVID, we've had to cancel the DC trips for the 8th graders the past couple of years. So we're transferring that money from the middle school account to the high school account, and we're hoping in the future years to be able to provide some sort of trip for those students. Not sure if it'll necessarily be DC, but at least something to have them take a trip since they missed their 8th grade year.
Have a motion? Martha Armzay, second by Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Okay, late items. I'm making the recommendation to approve the resignation of Brandy Morris as an ELC instructional assistant effective September 9th, 2021.
Have a motion? Childress, second by Mike Adams. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Brandy wasn't here very long, but I do appreciate the time that she's able to give us. Next, making a recommendation to surplus the electronic waste material that I presented to the board We have a lot of e-waste that we are going to send off for recycling. We do get some money back on that. It's a lot of computer monitors, old computer towers for desktops, a lot of the old smart boards that we replaced with the new ViewSonic boards. That's a lot of what we are e-wasting this time. It's just stuff that's unfortunately become obsolete as technology does. So making that recommendation.
I have a motion, Scott Carmichael, second by Mark Monze. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
Next up, I'm recommending to change the next board meeting date from October 11th, 2021 to October 18th, 2021. That Monday falls, October 11th is the first Monday of fall break, so we thought we'd make sure that people want to get away for fall break, they can do that. So we'll recommending moving that date a week later.
I have a motion, Mike Adams, second by Martha Marmazet. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.
I believe that is it for late items. Mr. Alt, I'm going to start with you. Do you have any discussion items, anything to report for the middle school?
All right. I wrote this up today. I think some of you on the board and all of you will be a little maybe surprised to hear this, but I'm going to read this slowly, and I can read it a second time if I need to. This is what I experienced firsthand last Friday and today, myself and Mrs. Yoho. Last Friday, we found out a sub was positive. We would have had to quarantine students from 2 classrooms at 6 feet and no mask. Because the students were masked and could use the 3 feet rule, not one student had to be quarantined. Today, we found out a student was positive. Unfortunately, our start date to trace back to was Tuesday, September 7th, before masks were mandated. There were 19 students we had to send home today for quarantines. If the students were masked, after St. United measured, we estimate only quarantining 3 to 5 students today versus the 19. So as you can see, taking the measurement distance from 6 feet down to 3 feet is working to keep our kids in school and learning. It's okay. 100% factual. Board meeting notes for today. Thank you to the middle school teachers for helping sick and quarantined kids learn virtually. It adds to their plate. I appreciate them. Also, thank you for a great job of parent-teacher conferences. Last week, we were well over 95% as a school, and that's pretty awesome when you're not meeting in person. I'd like to recognize Jake James. I told him I just wanted to stand up, just for like a split second. He on his own raised money to purchase a mascot uniform for the middle school. Jake, you don't know this, but I've always wanted a mascot here. And I also want one of those big bazookas that shoot t-shirts up in. But he did this on his own because it was important to him. And I think that's huge. You also this year so far have started FBT, Fellow Believing Thunderbird. So I appreciate you, man. You've done a lot of good in a short time. Thank you. E-learning days will be this Wednesday and next Wednesday, September 22nd, the 15th and 22nd, so please don't forget that. And if you still have cookie dough fundraising stuff to turn in, go ahead and do that, and that's especially for 5th grade. It's been learning virtually last week. Thank you, everybody. I was going to say it, but happy 17th birthday to my daughter Zoe today. We'll go out to eat tomorrow.
Not going to put either in a spot. Does high school, elementary have anything to report?
I have a couple things.
Yeah, go ahead.
I won't tell the story of my principal being L who shot that 7-year-old lady with the t-shirt gun in the basketball game. So
Ours will be lower power.
lower power. He thought so too. So, a couple things. We have parent-teacher conferences on October 5th. Teachers will be making phone calls home from 4 to 6 p.m. that day. The yearbooks are from last year in. They'll be distributed this week during wind period. We have girls golf sectional this Saturday at Otis Park. And this Saturday is also our homecoming football game. It starts at 5 p.m., followed by a homecoming dance. There's also youth jersey night, and we're celebrating all of our young youth athletes as they participate and wear their jerseys and give them something to be proud of. And that's all I have in high school. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I think, yeah. She shook her head earlier, no. So, we would ask.
Scott, anything? Sharon? Oh, Martha, sorry.
No, no.
Heather? Ron? Mike? Before Mr. Provo talks, I just want to say that we received a multitude of emails in the last couple days, and they were for the most part very respectful. We appreciate that, and we hope that the folks that emailed us will be happy with our compromise that we have come to. We have done, I feel like, the best we can do working within the recommendations given to us by the health department and the recommendations from the governor's office. So, Mr. Provo.
Yep, so, you know, we listened to we read the emails, we listened to what people are saying that they want. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our best to provide a virtual option for students and parents that want that option. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get that accomplished. This isn't something that can be done in a single day. I've talked with a vendor today about providing a virtual option. I've got an appointment to talk to a vendor tomorrow about providing a virtual option. We are not the type of school and the size of school that can do that internally. It's just not possible. So we're gonna have to use a third-party vendor more than likely. So I need to talk with them. I need to get ideas on pricing and quotes from them, which I will get. We're also waiting on clarification on how that affects athletics and any possible, how athletics would work with virtual students, basically. What I would like for any interested party in a virtual option, if you could email your building principal as soon as possible, start, you know, whenever you want to send that email, to let us know that you're interested so that we can start putting together an idea of the numbers we're talking about, because those vendors are going to want to know some of those numbers of what we're talking about, because that plays a role in the quote. So if you can get those emails to your students' building level principal as soon as possible, that will help us out immensely. And we are going to go to work first thing tomorrow. Well, we started today actually, but we're going to go to even bigger work first thing tomorrow to start putting together a viable virtual option, and there will be more information on that to come of when we can get that started.
If anyone has any questions, I think myself, I don't know if anybody else is going to stick around after the meeting. We can field questions from you. Okay? It is recommended the meeting be adjourned at 8:09. Do I have a motion? Ron Childress. Second by Martha Marmazet. All those in favor? Passed 7-0.